Hello everybody, my name is TacticMixD and welcome to Ultimate Admiral's Dreadnoughts. Now, here we are again. Although this time I haven't chosen any particular battle at all, I'm just quite honestly being random. I thought I would display, well, I said it was being random, and since it's not a specific battle I just thought I would display the difference in power versus technology. So, I'm gonna do a bit of showing off. Okay, now I've said that, I've cursed myself to fail, haven't I? Anyway, I intend to build a heavy cruiser and go up against 4 heavy cruisers, 3 light, and 4 light. I can talk. Yes, that is a thing I can do. Right, I intend to build 1 heavy cruiser, but against 4 heavy cruisers. And 4 light cruisers. However, with a 20-year time gap. As those of you who are a fan of history can know, that's probably a really bad thing for those ships. But because I know what I'm going up against, and I'm not trying to make the ship a bit random, or make the ship able to fight anything else, I'm going to be a bit cheeky, I suppose. So long-range rangefinders, hydroacoustic search, RDF, because I haven't got radar in this era yet. I'm only building a small ship because I only feel like building a small ship. I could build a bigger one. The way I kind of see it is, as you can see, everything that you add has a cost to it, and if I just increase the ships, yeah, say 4 million, and that's going to go up. So we don't have campaign yet. What I was thinking, is when they do eventually put campaign in, to have these ships, well, whatever ship I build, light cruisers be light, heavy cruisers be light, and then save the money for battleships. So I'm trying to build effective light cruisers relatively cheaply. Or at least tonnage-wise cheaply. Because increased ship speed, yeah, makes a ship a larger target, less maneuverability, things like that. Try and sort of get it. Anyway, as for what I'm going to do with main guns, I'm actually just going to go with 8 inches. I'm going to do... decisions. I'll see what my weight is. I don't have a lot of weight, so I'm only going to... that and that? Is that going to be all my weight? No, it's going to be over my weight. Oh dear. Right, so drop the double hull, drop torpedo 2, drop that down, drop that down. It doesn't do much. Drop the speed, actually. You don't need it that fast, it's a heavy cruiser. Just has to slightly outrun the battleships. Yeah, that's better. So, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Excellent. And torpedoes, because, well, I like torpedoes. And let's go to armour. Bring that down. Bring the deck armour up, because I do plan on staying relatively at range. 8 inches, that'll translate to 16 inches. Because of the quality of the armour. Put that to... yeah, let's have that. Oops. Right. Put the deck down a little bit. Put the extended down a little bit. Secondary guns. Can I even afford to put any on this ship? I could put a single... no, is that even going to be worth it? Probably not. But I will do it anyway, just because. Though actually, if I put it there, is it even going to be able to rotate properly? Yeah, let's just have that and bring that weight down, because it doesn't matter if that thing gets destroyed. Oh, actually, make that triple in that case. Doesn't matter if it gets destroyed. 3 tons for a 2 inch. Well, that's also 3 tons. Yeah, why not? Makes me 2 tons overweight. We can solve that. Or can I? I've got light shells, so... Yeah, sure, let's do that. Why not? Actually, if I take that off, can I actually... Yes, I can. Right. Okay, so this is my heavy cruiser. It has sort of the classic 4 dual 8-inch guns, 8 inches about armour, 7.2 extended. Obviously with armour quality, stats, resistance, gun damage, obviously things like that, acceleration, stability, its accuracy bonuses, floatability, how often it can, well, its ability to resist flooding. Where is armour quality? It's ship details, isn't it? Maneuverability, weapons, accuracy. Am I blind? It's entirely possible that I am being blind today. Entirely possible. Armour quality, 108%. So 108% of 8. 16 point something inches of armour, which is, given the technology difference, it's more than these guys are going to be able to penetrate, so that's absolutely fine. This is a bit of bullying, to be honest. It's a bit of unfairness, unpleasantry. Although, as I said at the beginning, I could say that and then waltz into a torpedo and die. Sorry, it's been a long couple of days, very long. I recorded 2 episodes of Minecraft yesterday, and both got copyright claims on them. And so you have the option on YouTube to edit out certain bits, mute the song, or replace the song. I was trying to do that for about 8 hours. It was processing for about 8 hours and nothing happened. Woke up this morning and it's still going. Oh dear. Well, that was unexpected. Oh dear, I do apologise for that. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, woke up this morning, and yeah, they still had, hey, copyright claims, and nothing had happened. Tried trimming it, tried replacing the music with just the music I use for stream. Nope, no effect. Well, I say no effect, nothing happened. Then I tried just cutting the song out altogether, and still nothing happened. So, we have contact. This is the heavy cruiser, I believe. They will either be 7 or 8-inch guns. That is a light cruiser. No, that's another heavy cruiser. And let's slow down time because... there we go. Incoming fire. Slow down time and slow down our speed to 22 knots. Though, even given the technology gap, those are fairly... Well, say those are fairly close. Oh, and there's the light cruisers. Yep, there's absolutely the light cruisers. Now, they are probably armed with 7-inch guns? 2 7-inch guns? You don't need... On the light cruisers, you don't need to worry about these secondary guns, especially if you've got a technological advantage. Oops. I thought I'd put that on silent. Oh dear. Anyway, these guns are on the casemates here. They only go up to a maximum of 3 inches? I think they only have 3-inch casemates. Heavy cruisers, I think, can get up to 5 or 6 inches. So the heavy cruiser is the thing to worry about when it comes to mass fire. listening for some reason, or is that just... No, I think that's just how badly the weather is right now. Ooh, and that gun isn't in action. I'd say 20 degrees should bring it into action. Maybe. To be fair, I could have positioned it a little bit better, but I was going for sort of a Dorsetshire type layout. We are a British heavy cruiser after all. No, that is certainly not a destroyer, or no destroyer that I have ever seen. And as far as I can tell, nobody has had any hits yet. Which is most distressing. Though we do have, again, 2% accuracy. I'm kind of tempted to get closer, to be fair. Okay, normal torpedoes, see if... Yep, they launch straight away. So we should probably concentrate our fire on something else. Probably the 4.8% accuracy on that particular ship. And a cup of tea. I still do love these models. Ah, that will be the dustbin man. Need to close my window. Uh, 8-inch hit on. That is certainly not a battle cruiser, that is a heavy cruiser. This one, I presume? Ooh, only a partial penetration. This is why I normally go with, well, to be fair, I thought the technological difference would allow me to overcome that. I need to get in closer in that case. So increase speed and bring her about. No, that is not a light cruiser, although they look the same, to be honest. Or similar enough from a distance. Certainly when you get into the modern ships, the heavy and the light cruiser on the modern ships certainly look very similar. Ah dear. Ouch, I'm smiling too hard. Oh dear. Right, so 4-inch was blocked, so blocked is that one. Shell shattered upon armour surface, no damage, so we definitely need to get in closer. The shell, I'm using a combination of light shells and lyddite? Lyddite 2. Lyddite has less armour penetration but more damage, especially on high explosives, so things are a Please, mouse, don't do this to me. You killed me in Minecraft, now please don't kill me in here. It's a brand new mouse. Well, brand new, I've only had it a couple of months. The old mouse I had for God knows how long. I had that since I was in regular school. That was a decade ago. That was a good... Oh, it must have been a decade I've had that mouse. I think that was still the one from my original computer. Ooh! Okay. Okay, that wasn't pleasant. Obviously it's not done a lot of damage, but I didn't expect a straight up penetration at this kind of range. This kind of range. Have you just launched a second set, or is that the first set that's been extremely slow? That's gotta be the second set, right? Rude. Beeping at me like that. Ah, so here's the first set. Honestly, I think it's going to be able to evade that. Yeah, detected torpedoes. Hard to starboard. Oh, though, moving to starboard might have just killed it. And that's 20 years difference in torpedo tech. Right there for you. In the early game, rather than having guns, I would rather have torpedoes, to be honest. Once they hit, they do this. This is what happens with a single hit from a torpedo. Obviously it's flooding, but it's fighting back against the flooding, or at least it's maintaining relatively stable. As soon as I say that, I love how it goes down the moment I say, you're being stable. Anyway, you have maximum bulkhead, so these guys are going to be hard to kill. 26 knots. And 1906, that's actually pretty nifty. 5 inches of belts with the 74%, so let's call that 10 inches of armour. Crop 1, coal fuel. Coal actually makes... coal floats in reality. Well, floats for a while anyway. So... well, it depends on the type of coal. Anyway, for the most part, coal can float. So actually, having coal bunkers does help the floatability of the ship. So it's not going to sink as quickly. Still, old Norfolk here is under concentrated fire, but appears to be relatively fine, yeah. So these are 9 inches, so these are larger than I thought they were going to be. 5 inches, as I say, a couple of 4 inches, a couple of 3s, and 4.5 torpedo tubes, which I am not concerned about. Now, that is a light cruiser over there, confirmed. Hello, Portsmouth. 7-inch guns, as we predicted. Maximum bulkheads, 3 inches predicted. That's going to be a problem. Range 6.1 kilometers. Those could be a threat. And 23 knots. What's the distance now? 4.6 kilometers. What is the speed that you're going at? 21, 20, 21. Yeah, that's... oh, there were torpedoes and you evaded them. That explains the rapid turn. Not to worry, I am outrunning them. I probably should actually turn to port, maybe 3 degrees? Run parallel to them. Or at least somewhat parallel. The rounds are getting fairly close now. Also, I will slow down to 22 knots. That ship's going 22.2, so I'm going to stay at... obviously, it's not a sports car, I can't just slam on the brakes. So even though I've asked it to slow down, it's still taking its merry time. Even with the... it seems that even with the shells that have reduced penetration and light shells, looks like I have reduced damage. Oh, I'm still over penetrating these rather than reduced damage is what I meant to say. This looks worse than it actually is. I keep thinking I'm taking more of a beating than I actually am. But I'm not dishing out as much damage as I would prefer to. Since that ship's getting a bit ahead of itself, I might actually just switch straight to this one. Ricochet... come on. Ricochet chance low, 100% chance to penetrate. What about high explosive? Still 100% chance to penetrate, but perhaps... perhaps with the high explosive it will actually... not? Yeah, we're getting actual penetration, so the shells are going through the armour, they're arming, and then they're exploding in the middle of the ship, doing maximum damage. And incoming. And you missed. That was a hit, full penetration, 21% accuracy, 8 shots. I should be getting at least 1 hit. Ooh, partial penetration. Full penetration. Okay, so it can't penetrate the the main belt, but everything else it's eating away at. And there's a couple of ways to kill the ships in this game. Either completely reduce the structural integrity and basically blow the ship apart, sink it by flooding. Things like torpedoes, etc. are excellent for that. Again, blocked. Oh, it's only a 3-inch that was blocked. I thought it was something larger. What was I saying? Yes, flooding, or if they don't have enough bulkheads, you can actually set them on fire. Right, so it's not actually the 8-inch that's being blocked, it's everything else. That is perfectly fine by me. Partial penetrations, again, fine by me. Above T, also necessary. Actually, I'm keeping away from these light cruisers because, to be frank, I'm more scared of the light cruisers than I am of the heavy cruisers. Flash fire. Yes, blows the turret off. Come on, let me click, thank you. Possible that this turret will explode in a few moments. I doubt these will. But as the ship goes down, I mean, if you look at the time, it's already... its front's already out of the water. Or is that just a glitch with the model or my perception? No, that's to do with the waves. Ooh, okay, torpedo hit, flooding. Okay, well something just hit me. That'll be that damned light cruiser. No, it won't. What hit me? You, Norfolk. Okay, well this is a problem. This is what I deserve for getting distracted. Now, if you would please, die. Though we think of England and America as allies, there was plenty of times in the, especially with the late 18th and early 19th century, where we honestly thought we'd probably go to war with each other. So, blasting apart an American ship with a British one, you know, could very well have happened. I know the Americans had sort of, what was it, Operation Red or Plan Red, that basically predicted the invasion, declaration of war, invasion of Canada. That was to do with belligerent rights. Belligerent rights is basically our ability to shoot people to protect our trade. It wasn't recognised by America, of course, but then again, America didn't really like us, to be frank. Oh, and that would have been a torpedo hit. And that's what a torpedo does to a light cruiser. I know I just got sidetracked, but you know, the game is doing a thing. I have to look at the game as well. But yeah, as you can see, that is going down. Considering this is actual seconds going by, times 1 speed. I don't think you want to be in these lower decks right now. And again, flash fire. Why are these ships flash firing? I'll bet 2, that's why. Increased ammo. Oh, okay, that's also why. And as I was saying, these ships are going down and this is in seconds, so you really wouldn't want to be on that ship at all. Certainly wouldn't want to be on this one, I'd imagine, even if you're in these sections. I mean, how are you going to get out? Fire above, fire all around you, flooding. I'm sorry boys, but you're dead. It's not pleasant to say, but unfortunately, that will be reality for these guys. Nobody in this section will survive. This one, maybe they would be able to get out. But, yeah. That turret exploded, so potentially everybody in this section, and the fire spread, so maybe explosion there, fire ricochet through there, and everybody's dead. Yes. And you, on the other hand... See, now I've switched to high explosive, the shells are actually, rather than going through the ship, they're actually doing penetration damage. Ammo detonation from fire hit the ammo and went off. Yeah, if I turn to this vessel and then turn on the armor piercing, once these next shots have run out, you'll be able to see the difference. So the smaller shells are penetrating, but the larger ones will over-penetrate when they decide to hit. Psst, okay. Are you intent on proving me wrong, by the way? Or... This is why you have, you know, maximum bulkheads, which they do, and maximum barbettes. Because, you know, bang. What do they have for explosive charge? Lead out 2, the same as me. So, an unstable explosive. So, yeah, bang is a thing. But yeah, if this was a campaign... Mid-belt penetration. Why are you penetrating and not over... Ah, that's better, over penetrations. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, in a campaign mode, you've got to decide... Well, we don't know, but... You may have to decide whether it's going to be worth saving these ships or not. At this rate, I honestly don't know whether I would have continued this battle or attempted to retreat. Probably couldn't retreat in all fairness, because these are capable of doing 23 knots and I'm 13.1, but attempt may be made. I mean, throwing these torpedoes, if you just shift left or right a little bit, these torpedoes can fly backwards, so it's a little bit difficult to pursue a ship that's manoeuvring if they're shooting torpedoes at you. Again, extent over penetration, penetration over penetration, over. So this is the difference. If the difference between high explosive, again, it really depends on the ship itself. I mean, that's another ammo detonation, but that's simply because these ships aren't as well defended as they appear. But, in fairness, this isn't a bad design. If this flash fire had initially happened and the ship had minimum bulkheads, that would have been a dead ship right there. But it's had an ammunition explosion. That would probably be from a casemate or a secondary gun. Probably one of these second 3-inch magazines went off or something like that. But because it has maximum bulkheads, you know, proper Type 2 Citadel. I'm not sure whether Type 2 no, Turtleback would be Type 3, Type 4. But it has some Citadel protection. And the Citadel is basically the centre of the ship, where machinery, magazines, things like that are kept. It's an armoured box, basically. Again, this ship should have been dead by now, but using our piercing, a lot of the shells are going through the ship, not exploding. If I switch to high explosive, plus it's got maximum bulkhead, so it is quite resistant. Ping. Well, that wasn't good. I've only got 29% accuracy because, well, if you take a look, smoke, damage instability is 5.9%, so... What grade are my guns? 4th generation guns. The more you advance, and the lower the generation... The further you advance in time and the higher the generation grade of the guns becomes, the guns basically get better over time. An 11-inch gun in World War I is not the equivalent of an 11-inch gun in World War II. The muzzle velocity, the armour penetration values, type of shells, type of explosives, obviously all that changes over time, so just because you've got the same calibre of gun doesn't mean you've got the same quality of weapon. it's the differences between also the Grafspee and the Scharnhorsts. They had, again, both 11-inch guns, but the Grafspee used an older type with older style ammunition, etc. Whereas the Scharnhorst used a more modern type. So even though you see, well, 9 11-inch guns versus 3, Scharnhorst was certainly more powerful. This thing's going to be a pain now, isn't it? Yes, please die. You're overdue for the JV Jones. Davy Jones? Blah! You are overdue for Davy Jones. If you don't sing, I'm going to start singing. Okay, there you go. I'm not sure whether that game was offending me there or not. I mean, it's a joke, but yeah. Oh dear. I don't think anybody really wants me to start singing. You just launched torpedoes, or did I miss a shot? I mean, at this point, if this was campaign, I'd certainly be turning off the torpedoes. I mean, I know a torpedo can kill one of these ships basically in one shot, but there's quite a bit of distance away. These torpedoes are relatively slow. And it's not just the battle that you do, it's also what battle are you going to get when you try and retreat. So obviously this ship is going to be going at 13 knots, limping back to a port somewhere. So, do you want a ship with 13 knots that has 12 torpedoes, or do you want a ship limping home with 0? I'm not sure what the ammunition capacity was at the beginning, but barely 700 rounds now, so... And half an hour or so the battle has gone on. To be fair, I think this thing should have actually turned by this point, because those half weapons are not engaging. And it's the 7-inch guns that can do the damage. I mean, from 5,000 meters, which we're in range, it can penetrate 8.4 armor. Look, it can penetrate armor that's 8.4 inches thick. I've got no armor on my secondaries. Can go through turret top. Can't penetrate my turret because again, 108% increase. Can't penetrate my conning tower. Can penetrate the deck. If it gets close enough, these guns can actually do some damage. But oh, here come the torpedoes. So switch target to the Portsmouth. Oh, we'll be alright if the wind was in our sails, and we'll be alright. Come on, torpedoes! You're in a smoke screen, you can't see it, damn it. Oh dear. Oh well, that's going to be a problem for me. Boink, boink. Excellent. Right, there. Hard over. Because I do not want to get hit by a torpedo in my current state. And as soon as I mentioned singing, I've got loads of sea shanties just randomly going through my head. How annoying. Because I don't know which ones I could sing and which ones I could get in trouble for, so... Certainly can't sing anything to do with a Mrs. Sally Brown, that's for certain. If any of you get that reference, good on you. And any of you that don't, if you're under 16 or 18, don't look it up. Oh dear. It's a song full of innuendo. Well, is it even full of innuendo, or is it close enough to be direct that it doesn't matter? Anyway, these ships, again, they have maximum bulkheads. Originally, the developers, this is something that was being requested by the community a lot, because we were getting cases where, I'm sure my quick look video, you probably saw that the battleships both had minimal bulkheads. So even though they completely outgunned me and it was 2-1, they couldn't take the damage that I could. I could take the damage that they couldn't. Obviously, the more bulkheads you have, the more you can restrict. If a section's been damaged, but you've got multiple sections of bulkheads, the doors are closed, the watertight compartments are all compartmentalised as they're supposed to be, your ship's more likely to survive, but obviously minimal. Then you're going to lose multiple compartments. I mean, here it's definitely been shot there, just received damage aft, but it's not shown up. So, and it's, you know, 99%. I really want to sing now, but I think it will make your ears bleed if I try. Safe and sound at home again, let the waters roll, Jack. Safe and sound at home again, let the waters roll, Jack. Long we've tossed on a rolling main, now we're safe as shore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmates, rolly, 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 right-o. Yeah, so this is also the reason why you really wouldn't want to target these smaller ships. They can see the torpedoes and they can get out of the way. Larger ships, of course, can't necessarily. Speaking of getting out of the way, I thought I saw some incoming. Yeah, I did. Over there. Oh, and over here. Am I actually going to be able to turn in time for those? Probably. It's almost tempting to sing some Meatloaf for some reason. Sea shanties and Meatloaf. Now that's a good combination, isn't it? I don't get it, I'm politically correct. Please, could you just die? I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're surviving, but I'm supposed to be bullying you and it's not really working. In fact, I'm manoeuvring, so I think I'm the one that's getting picked on at this moment in time. So if you could please, sink. I don't want to get much closer because, well, you know, torpedoes. Torpedoes. Although torpedoes weren't originally torpedoes. Torpedoes were mines. So when, I know there's a famous quote that goes down, what is it, down the top, full speed ahead and down the torpedoes? Yeah, they were actually, they were attacking a fort, and the fort essentially had electronic mines in the water, so they'd pull a charge in the fort. It was guarding a river. Underneath the river, on the bed, they basically laid mines, charges. These were called torpedoes in the day. Obviously, when actual torpedoes came around, they weren't. But yeah, so originally, down the torpedoes, full speed ahead was ignore the mines and go for it. Slightly warped context over the years, but it's still a good quote and perfectly valid. Although the original, well, what they're originally referring to is no longer what they were originally referring to, it doesn't really matter. It's still a perfectly affable quote. Portsmouth, please, for the love of everything holy, die. Yeah, these ships are just going to be a pain, aren't they? They're just going to continue to exist. They're going to resist and go, no, no, you will not die. You will not kill us. Mwahaha. Sip of tea. I keep saying it, but I do love these damage models. I mean, burn. You look at the pitching and the warping on the doors. Look at the pitching and the warping on that. You can tell that there's been a fire there, so I had to burn off the paint and warp the decks. I mean, that's just cool in its own right. Although if there was a hit there, I'm sorry, but that's a bit too. That's too clean. Not that I mind. You know, damage to the funnel. There's definitely been a hit or a fire there. There's definitely been a fire under the mast. Hit near the torpedo tubes are burnt. So you'd be sticking hoses on them, desperately hoping the torpedoes don't blow up. Or, alternatively, would you stop suddenly doing sea noises the moment that I pause? That is really rude of you. Oh, now I unpaused, it stopped. Oh dear. Right, anyway, what was I saying? Damage, yes. Impact there, shell's gone back. Impact there, ricocheted. Oh, is that a shadow? Can't tell, the ship's moving. That is a shadow. Hit, 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 hit. Hit, hit, hit. Fire. 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 And ship's rocking and rolling and she's cutting through the waves. And obviously on these hostile vessels, oops, if the camera will come... No, mouse, please don't do this. I'm gonna have to buy a new one though. So, damage, shell mark. There's a hole there, quite a literal hole, so that's gone through. That's obviously fire that's come out of that hole, that's fire that's come out of that room. Hit on the... there's a fire there, scorch marks. Fire, hole, 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 fire. Have we really got guests again? No we don't. No we don't, that's fine. Not that I don't mind guests. I just wish people, when they came, would say, hey, are you free? Do we want to come? Can we come? Just seems polite to make sure that there's no plans in place before you just rock up. I mean, sure, rock up every now and again, but rocking up all the time and never saying anything and just expecting them to be there and then getting grouchy when they're not, or actually, we're going out in a couple of minutes. Oh, well, can't you stay? No, we can't. You didn't call. Anyway, small rant over. And I'm glad I came back, otherwise, yeah, this would have been a problem. But yeah, torpedoes in the early to make game. Early to make game? What on earth am I talking about? Early to mid. The middle of the game. To the early section of the game. Torpedoes are exceptionally strong. Torpedoes are strong. This, 30% and almost 50% flooding, well, 40% flooding. A lot of that is basically a single hit from a torpedo. 2 engines out. It's cut my speed in pretty much just, 13 knots. So, obviously, I've only got Type 2 torpedo defense on the ship because, well, I wanted more armor. But that was possibly my own fault, but given the amount of damage I've taken and the fact I'm only on 11,000 tons, bearing in mind that Belfast, the 6-inch light cruiser, is over 11,000 tons, or around 11,000 tons. I'm a heavy cruiser with heavy cruiser levels of armour and heavy cruiser caliber guns on 11,000 tons. There's only so much you can do. If you've got a weight limit, there's only so much you can do. Unless you're Imperial Japan and then they go, oh, weight limit, let's try to stay in the weight limit, but you've got all these requirements, so actually let's not stay in the weight limit. Go on, these light cruisers, they just happen to have barbettes and all the rest of it perfectly equivalent to have 8-inch turrets. 8-inch turrets? That's what I meant to say. Yeah, that was Megami class. They originally had 15 6-inch guns. Yeah, they were actually designed for 10 8-inch guns. Now, there is some conversation to be had whether it was actually better that they stuck with the 6-inch guns or not. That is a debate that can be had. And circumstances are a bit... rather than blasting away at this thing that's pretty far away, why not just attack that? That's much closer and an immediate threat to you. Missed, but that's perfectly fine. Ping, perfectly fine. funnel damage. That means shrapnel and other bits and pieces are going to go down into the boiler room, into the boilers. Oh, and there's the torpedoes. Hard to port. Emergency to port, all speed. Oh, that's a lovely hit in the stern. I thought this was going to be close, but fortunately it's not as close as I was going to imagine it was going to be. Not as close as it could have been. Stay on this course, keep the guns on target. Torpedoes will outrun me, which is perfectly acceptable. Do I have... yeah, torpedo launchers are off. You know what? They launched torpedoes at me. Let's return the favour since they're in a smoke screen. Hello, dear. Oh, is it the other side that's loaded? It's going to be the other side that's loaded, isn't it? No, they're turning. Excellent. Support, please. And return fire to the enemy ship. The other enemy ship, because this one's going to get torpedoed. If my mouse cooperates, it's going to get a nice view anyway. Have they? Yes, have detected my torpedoes all the way out here. Do they have sonar of some sort? They must do, right? Coal, sit down. No, they don't. They've just got advanced RDF. RDF is radio directional finding. Basically, you use enemy radio signals to try and triangulate a position. Or I think it's radio signals, or it's some sort of signal or electronic signals from the enemy to try and triangulate their position. Either way, actually, you can go that way. Bye bye. Unfortunately, it seemed to have left me a care package. Most distressing. But if I do that, it should be perfectly fine. Still, 2 torpedoes amidships on a ship this small. It's not hard to imagine it breaking in half with the torpedoes being that close together. They're only 9,000 tons, and it is a much older vessel. But again, I mean, flooding, fire. When these things go down, it wasn't pleasant. Obviously, as I've said before, some of these ships did take hours or even days to go down, but some of them went down in seconds. I think HUD was, when HUD actually finished exploding, I think it was something like 19 seconds or something. I mean, this guy's already gone, and if you're below decks with this, water's pouring in from below, water's pouring in from the sides, and now water's filling the hatches that you're trying to get out of. The water pressure will push you down. I'm sorry, but you're... hopefully the water pressure will be so great and you'll be knocked around, maybe you'll go unconscious. Otherwise, that's not going to be a pleasant way to go. Certainly could be worse, though. I mean, one thing you could probably say about things like flash fires is it's quick. You're not gonna... you just... bang. You're probably gone before the sound even gets there. Before your ear, before your mind even realises what's going on, you're just gone. Whereas something like that, you know. That turned dark. I didn't intend it to turn dark. I intended it to be more cheerful. I was just having blooming songs going around in my head a few minutes ago. I didn't intend for it to dampen. I will be alright if the wind was in our sails. I will be alright if the wind was in our sails. Etc, etc, etc. Oh dear. Goodness. Now, the Portsmouth is still being a pain. Well, Portsmouth is still around, so, you know. I'm sorry, good sir, but you are going to die. Destroyed funnel. I know I could have fast forwarded it earlier, but I wasn't going to. Of course I wasn't going to. Oh, voice crack. I apologise. 2%. So to be fair, for what they are, these are actually decent ships. And she's gone. I think by this point you would probably say, you know, abandoned ship. And so there was the random battle, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't intend for it to get quite so dark towards the end, but you know, things are as things are. So, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.